What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the podcast. Hope you're all doing well. This is the Good Games Podcast, and I am your host, Justin Harold. And with me, as always, my co-host, Adam Isa. And today, we're going to be talking about a game trailer that we got that kind of just dropped out of nowhere for an MMO. And then we're going to also talk about something that I have near and dear to my heart, which is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition getting its first real trailer, kind of. We'll dive into that, the remaster of the original trilogy. But before that happens, Adam.
Wait. The Mr. Krabs meme of day 9 million of you talking about Mass Effect. No, continue.
we can have that go off. But
yeah.
Before that happens, Adam had a real spree on Twitter. If you guys don't follow Adam on Twitter, it's pretty funny sometimes.
Oh no.
Besides his thing with the Resident Evil woman right now that's going on, where he's made like...
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to talk about that. I was like, I made those.
We could absolutely talk about that, though, Adam. It's like, I'm willing to go there, but I felt like I needed to talk about the picture you posted of your PlayStation games.
Oh, yeah.
Hours you posted in your top 3. And so, like, Call of Duty's number 1 by, like, a very wide margin.
I mean, that makes sense.
443 hours.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, but like,
Ghost
number
of Tsushima,
1,
number 3.
We were all in lockdown, you know? Let me explain a bit. Like, Warzone was a thing. It was the biggest thing.
True.
I actually really like Modern Warfare as a game more than, like, basically any Call of Duty since maybe Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2. Like, I really adore that game.
I really swear, like, the way you used to talk about it, you would not say these things now.
No. I mean, that game's really good. I like it. It's
just like when we're playing Fortnite and like you get one pumped and you're like, I hate this
I'm
game.
Like,
It
was exactly that. Yeah, it was exactly that. Like, but so Modern Warfare, that makes sense. The other thing I will notice is this is just my PlayStation stats.
Right.
I have my Nintendo stats. I don't have my Xbox stats. I have my League of Legends stats. And let's just say, so I did something like 1,300 hours on my PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say there's a lot on League. There's a lot on my Switch. There's a lot on my Xbox. So it's been a year. Let's just say that. I didn't get out very much.
I was surprised to see that Fortnite didn't make it into your top 3, just because I guess you have it on.
I play it on all sorts of. Yeah, I play it on all sorts of stuff. That's probably why because I play it on my Xbox. I play it on my PlayStation. So whatever amount of time is split between those. So
right. But so you have Ghost in here, which is fair. It's a pretty long game, and we've been playing the multiplayer at 3 at 92 hours. But at number 2 for almost 100 hours is Marvel's Avengers. So like, what happened there? I was
grinding it
for the
I played it for like 2 weeks. I played 100 hours in like 2 weeks. I grinded the shit out of the game. I hit level cap with like every character almost.
Yeah.
I was a grinder because I was having a good time. But the problem was I got to end. So what I would do is like, I would get to end game, realize there's no content, and then be like, all right, time to grind other characters, get to end game, realize there was no content, and then go back. So it was like, I don't know. I mean, it was also, I was caught out at that point. I did not want to play Modern Warfare anymore.
And that was like the first big game that had released.
Yeah, there was nothing out for a long time.
I remember that pain.
Yeah, like Legends hadn't come out yet. I'd already beat Ghost. I needed something to stream. Just all sorts of wacky doodah stuff. And then ultimately I was like, all right, because I think this was just before I got into my Hitman craze. No, this was after, actually. Hitman I played earlier in the year, the 1, 2, like all over again on stream. But
okay, I was gonna say 3 just.
I just played it a lot because I mean, it played well. Like, again, that game feels good to play, but I was also committed. I had a bit going where I said I was going to become the best Marvel's Avengers player. And you know what? I did. For a small period of time, I was probably the greatest Marvel's Avengers player. But
you and Alex were going to make a podcast about.
It was a meme. Avengers. It was like we were like, we're gonna have our niche. It's gonna be great. But like I've fallen off of that game so hard. I have not even logged in to do the the
Kate Bishop.
the Kate Bishop content.
Yeah, neither have I.
I've decided that when they do their first raid, I will jump back in and play it because Black Panther will probably be in the game. But like other than that, I'm out. I mean, it was also that game has really big frame problems. So when it comes out on my PS5, I might jump back in for a little. But yes, that's a sore spot for me. I was down Cataclysmic this year.
I just thought it was really funny to see that.
Damn. Yeah.
Because like you said, you didn't have like a post for like Xbox or Switch.
Well,
they don't do that, but like,
it would be misleading. No, I have my one for Switch.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a lot of. Why is it not letting me exit my full screen here? It's just a lot of Smash Bros. I'll see if I can look it up. But oh look, speak of the devil, he shall appear. Marvel's Avengers just sent me an email.
Nice.
They're like,
they heard us. They heard us.
Yeah, they heard us through the fucking airwaves, dude.
They're like, their airwaves have been so silent that the reverberation of us doing this podcast
yeah, exactly. Like,
so loud.
Hey, somebody's talking about it.
We got name dropped.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait.
Well, I was gonna lead into that because I was gonna ask you actually, what's a game that you played? So I consider Marvel's Avengers to be not great. I'm not a huge fan of it. I wasn't a huge fan of it. The story was good. The story was fun.
Yeah.
The gameplay, not so much. The stuff afterwards, not so much. And I consider it to be a bad game. But you spending that much time in it, I wanted to ask you, what if you could flip that around? What's a good game or a great game, something that you hold in high regard that you may only play once, or that you only
like Limbo
once?
or Inside?
Okay.
Like, I mean, I don't see the point in, unless you're going for the collectibles, but like those games take like 3-4 hours to beat, and they will stick with me for the rest of my life, and I'll never play them again for the most part. And that's okay, because that's how they're like designed to be. I actually might play Inside again at some point, but you know what I mean? Like the most I'm going to do is like 10ish hours in those games. And that's just the way it is. You know, like there's not anything. Also, I found it. I've 600 hours on my Switch.
On your Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say. I thought you were gonna say Smash Bros.
No. But Smash Bros was a lot of it. My 3 most played games were Smash, Stardew Valley, and Hades. So there you go. And then Xbox stopped doing it because they're babies and I hate them. But yeah,
that's not true. You don't hate them.
I wish they would. They just stopped randomly doing the year in reviews, which is really, really annoying. But oh well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know why it stuck with me, because you declined to comment on Twitter, so I had
I almost declined to comment here too.
Right. But I had to like get like a little like a story behind
when
it.
I post things on Twitter, I don't expect anyone to actually
comment,
like confront me in person where I have to talk to them. Like I've spent a lot of time on Photoshop and video editors this week because I was bored. I put a lot of Lady Dimitrescu, whatever, memes up, and I prefer not to speak about them with anyone in person. And I put up a very controversial Attack on Titan meme that I think is very funny, but some parties don't think so. So, you know, if you want to see all that stuff, the action's on Twitter, but you know, let's leave it at that.
Yeah, we can leave it at that. I had to get you with that. So moving on. So the one thing that I thought was interesting just in this week's news that got dropped was the game that's kind of being proclaimed as a The Last of Us and Division-esque combination,
like
multiplayer game. Is called The Day Before. It just dropped on a trailer on February 2nd or the 1st,
something like that, like very early
this week. It looks like, obviously it's a zombie game, an apocalypse game, and it looks like it sets place in a big city. Obviously you can traverse the buildings and such and go up and down and all that.
It looks exactly like that first demo we saw for the Division.
The first Division. The first
demo we saw for it, where it was like, and actually I think this could lead into a different conversation of like demos and whether or not we should trust them. And we
Mhm.
would like vertical slices, and we will later. But like it looks like it plays like The Last of Us, like
Yes.
reticle HUD, but like in the same thing, that Division, where it's like multiplayer in a city, very vertical. Like again, concept, I'm all in. This looks
Right.
so cool. The vertical slice looks awesome. Do I think the game will be like that? Absolutely not. Because this is
Yeah.
like an indie team. I've never heard of them before, I don't think. And I just don't know. Like how is this gonna end up being like all they're chalking it up to be? I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because it's like a survival MMO. So you're playing with other people. It's multiplayer based and everything online. It's only coming out for the PC
Yeah.
as of right now. So it's from, and I don't, like you said, I don't know who this is. Fantastic and my Tona.
Yeah,
Um,
I've never heard of them.
But when you watch the gameplay, they have like you said, the gameplay looks very The Last of Us
It looks
esque.
awesome.
It also has like elements of 7 days. Is it 7 days to die?
Yeah, yeah.
Like with the having to drink water, stay warm, all
The
that kind of
survival,
stuff. So,
yeah.
yeah, the
Like
survival
it looks like a hardcore survival game, like with those elements. It's not just like you just need to like, oh, it's not like Minecraft. Oh, you need to eat food because you're hungry, or you won't be able to run. It's like if you don't do these things, you will die, like Rust, and yeah.
Right. But the zombies also kind of reminded me of Days Gone, where like they're all hoarded together and everything in places, and they react to sound and all that,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I don't know what happens like if you die in that game.
Yeah, I'm more curious for like a long form like demo where it's very clearly not scripted. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
this is the same thing that I sort of also wanted from Cyberpunk before it came out, because I was like, we got all these scripted demos, right? But we never saw the game just running. You know what I mean? Like a guy behind the wheel just playing the game rather than. So it was always like, I don't know. I'll never trust a game until I see a dev with a controller playing the game right in front of our face.
Old school E3 demos.
Literally, like, but even those
where it's kind of like cringy, but it's still them playing the game.
Exactly, like those Ghost Recon ones, whatever, like Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's cringy. They're all talking, blah blah blah. Well, not Wildlands, like the other one before that, but like
communication. But yeah,
but it's for people playing the game, and it's the game running, and it's like, I don't know. There's like 3 studios I'll trust with a vertical slice. So I'm like getting a little tired of these things, because it's like, unless you're Naughty Dog, who I know will pull it off, like that Last of Us vertical slice that we saw 2018, right? Where it was like, they're not going to do this. Yeah. And I was like, there's no way that it ends up being like this, except it actually did. And like the contextual melee combat was insane and all this stuff. And like Sony Santa Monica and like those people I'll trust, but I'm wary of. I'm excited. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm always wary of these things, but this game looks sick. We'll play it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
my
have
PC
to give it
can
a
run
try.
it.
Right. It's gonna release in Q2 of this year, so
yeah,
I think something to just look out for. With games getting delayed, and we'll see if this one stays on track and everything. But yeah, I mean, it should just be. I like that. Like, it just kind of dropped on its own. Obviously, it's not part of Xbox or PlayStation or anything, so it's not going to get a direct.
It's an indie game, yeah.
So it just dropped, which was kind of nice. It was just like a nice little, Monday thing to wake up to and see. Oh, new game. So we haven't really seen a lot of that nowadays with everything. But with that being said, the week just got better for me after that point.
It's been your week.
It has been. It really has been. This is gonna low-key February might be my month. Because I got Pokemon. So
That's true.
God, I hope it's my month. Because
I was gonna say, don't depend on it too much.
I gotta wait, but like February, Pokemon 25th anniversary could continue to be my month. But staying in this week, staying in recent news, Mass Effect Legendary Edition finally showed us some stuff from the game, the enhanced versions of 1, 2, and 3. We're going to talk about that. I just need to get off my chest really quickly. I did get the cachet. I'm still waiting for my email, though. I'm really worried right now. I did send an email out, but that helmet, I'm gonna wear that thing when I play that.
Oh God.
I'll
I
wear it
think
like for a cutscene or something, but I'm
yeah,
probably not gonna want to like have
that's
that thing.
hilarious though. But
It looks
I
so
think
good.
what we learned this week was that EA loves you a lot more than they love me. Still no Titanfall, still no Dead Space, but you know what? Hey, I'm glad there's more Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but honestly,
No.
Adam, I do really want to talk about it because I
Mhm.
feel like in all my hype and everything, I watched the trailer multiple times. I
Yeah,
also watched videos of people put the side by sides. I wanted to
yeah.
know, did you just watch the trailer?
I watched the trailer. I watched
I watched like an
Lucy
8 minute.
James. If anybody knows that, she's a GameSpot editor. She's a huge Mass Effect fan. So she did like an 11-minute video of
Okay.
all the questions she asked, all the changes that she could find, like exhaustive.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's it. But and I read a preview of GamesBeat. I think
Okay.
I read a GamesBeat preview. But yeah, I mean, I, I'm well read on this
Right. So
remaster.
I
I
wanted
think.
to ask you, based off of what you saw, and I'll ask you what you heard because that's I didn't see. I'll have to ask you to forward me that or
Yeah,
the 11-minute
GameSpot.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted to get your thoughts on how you thought the game, I guess collectively how the whole thing looked, and then break it down from there for your perspective because I have some thoughts on it and I wanted to get a kind of feeling for where you're at with it.
I think it looks really cool. It looks better than I thought it was going to be. I think Mass Effect 1. Hopefully, it runs well too. You know, again, I'm wary because they were showing a presentation, but like I think obviously it'll look good. Like I honestly thought they were just kind of gonna take the money and run, especially after I've seen like what happened with Mafia 2, and that game didn't look really great. Stuff like that, and everything I'm hearing about them sort of trying to fix Mass Effect 1 in terms of shooting and like the dice roll of like how you shot and all that stuff looks to be better. I'm a little disappointed there's no multiplayer. Like that's my one thing where it's like they're not bringing back multiplayer at all.
Mm,
Because I actually think multiplayer in 3 is very good.
really?
Um, yeah, I think it's good. I think it's fun. I think it's unique, and it would have carved out a nice little niche for this game to kind of keep going past they release it, we play all 3 games, and that's it, and then I could like sell it to GameStop if I wanted, but like
Mhm.
again, they haven't talked about Mass Effect 2 at all, which is like the only thing for me that I'm like literally the only thing I have not seen is that there's no Mass Effect 2. Like they've not talked anything about it. I want that game to look really good and obviously. So other than that, I mean, I'm excited. Like I was cautiously optimistic before because I didn't know what 1 was going to look like. I didn't know what they were going to do to 1. I thought it was just going to be we updated the graphics and did nothing, but they're putting in work and it looks to be like this is like a pretty meaty package. Like it's not like Mafia 1 level or
Mhm.
you know, I guess Shadow of the Colossus, right? From Blue Point.
Yeah.
But it looks to be a pretty it's going to get the job done. I think at least.
Yeah.
Now, what about you?
I was actually surprised to see like a lot of like not a lot of people, but like people I follow, like just like people who talk about video games and stuff, actually haven't played the Mass Effect series and said like this is gonna be their first entrance into the game. Good for them because for me, watching this, Mass Effect 1 looks really, really good. Like it
Mhm.
looks really well done now. And from what I can tell with the gameplay, the way that it looks like Mass Effect 3 esque. In terms of how they have the HUD, at least
Yeah.
my wonders for that game are for one at least are just like, is it still going to be the same skills and stuff that you have to go invest points into in the way that you did in Mass Effect 1, or is it going to be, are they the same? Do they work the same? That all has to be, seen. But Mass Effect 1 looks like it got the overhaul that it needed, which is great,
Yeah.
which is probably the biggest like thing going into this. However, like I said, I watched an 8 minute video and it took like side by sides of 2 and 3, and took, what they saw from the Legendary Edition and put it side by side. That's kind of where you're going to get into It's just enhanced edition,
Yeah, like
essentially.
3, the stuff I saw from 3 did not look good.
It's just straight up
Specifically, yeah,
like lighting's a little bit better, and like details on characters are better, and
not
like
much else.
not much else. It still looks really good, and I'm really happy that like I'll be able to get all 3 with the DLC and everything
Yeah.
for $60 and on top of my cachet money. But
Okay, can we really quick super side tangent? What the fuck is wrong with EA and these like collector's editions? Like they did it with Andromeda too, where it's like they release the collector's edition, no game. They don't include the game. Why? Just put the game in
they
there.
know they can make the money.
But no, I understand. But like, why are you making me buy both of these things separately? Like, just increase the thing $60, put the game in there because it comes with a steelbook. It comes with all these things. Like, it's the same thing with the Halo 5 thing, where it was like the dumbest. And I bought the Halo 5 Collector's Edition after they fixed this problem, where like they had a steelbook, except what came with it was a digital copy of the game. Are you like? What's not clicking, guys? Like I had to turn in the digital and get a physical version of the game because it was just like really dumb that's what it was. And sorry, quick.
No, you're fine.
Continue, but EA, fix your shit. Okay.
My thing with Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, I think Mass Effect 2 like probably needs a bit of touching up in some areas. You know, it's when I remember it, it's a really like kind of dark shaded game.
Yeah.
Like just all throughout, really dark game. Not sure that it's like supposed to be that way, but I think they're going to improve that a little bit. I think you'll see obviously 1 huge update, 2 stuff is better looking and more detailed, character details and everything, but 3 is probably gonna just be the same game in all respects. And
yeah,
I think the reasoning behind this now is because they know they're going to be able to get away with doing that. They're going to get away with kind of just not doing too much with 3. Because to be honest with you, when I was thinking about it way back when they announced it, I was thinking all these games are going to look the same.
Yeah.
3 through 1 are going to look the same. That's not the case. 1 looks like 1, but really just up to
much
snuff
better,
with current gen stuff and all that. 2, again, it looks like 2, just more detailed and everything. And then 3 is just straight up 3 by the looks of it.
I really wish they would have gone the extra mile, to be honest. Like, that's the only thing that I could say. Because, like, again, I was worried that they weren't going to do anything in 1, and I'm pleasantly surprised that they did. But, like, ultimately, I think Mass Effect as a brand right now needs a little, goodwill.
And I agree. And I think this is technically, in your mind, I know that you don't see it this way. I think this, everyone who's a Mass Effect fan begged for the trilogy remaster, whatever. Essentially, all they really wanted was to be able to play on Xbox One consoles and Series X, whatever, PlayStation 5, whatever you want to call it. And they're going to get that goodwill out of them. They released the cash. They know they're going to get people to like me to buy it. This is their step in the, all right, we need to get back to our what was I gonna say? Not goodwill. I guess goodwill,
like former glory, and
something they need like
they need some more political public cachet. Like
right,
they need some love.
They needed something to kind of like grab hold of and be able to be like, all right, we know that people are still diehard about this, and we already showed at Game Awards that we're going to make another one. I think at this point, I'm really surprised that they showed us this game. And they told us that it's coming out in May. Because I don't know what they're going to do from now to May. Maybe they touch things up a lot more than what we've already seen. Or maybe it's not all the way done. It's not whatever. But I think, like, as soon as this thing drops, the team that was working on this is going straight to...
helping with Dragon Age?
To Dragon Age. And as soon as I think they're going to try to pump out Dragon Age as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then... right back onto the next Mass Effect game.
I mean, we don't think Dragon Age is coming out next year, right? Probably.
I would put Dragon Age at the very earliest in December or November, late November
of 2022
of
or of
2021 of 21. That's the very earliest we saw. So what now? It's been 2 or 3 years since that Dragon Age tease at Game Awards, and then last year with EA, we got to see like actual
we saw art.
not
We didn't see
gameplay.
anything. We just
No,
saw
we
art
saw
and
we saw
renders.
like
we saw renders of environments, but like
Yeah.
that's
and then we got another trailer-esque. I guess no, I agree with you. 2021 because
But,
we
yeah.
haven't seen a gameplay trailer or even like a cinematic trailer of in-game stuff.
Yeah.
So 2022. Sorry, we'll probably get it sometime in 2022. But yeah, this Mass Effect Legendary Edition will probably be like the bridge of, all right, we're gonna give you this Dragon Age. Everyone has been happy for the most part with Dragon Age stuff. That will oh fuck, I should not have tried to use that word. It'll hold people over for however long they're gonna take
their thirst.
Yeah, however long they're gonna take and figure out what they're actually doing with that next Mass Effect game. Because
that's my thing, right? Like I wish, and I agree with you, that's exactly what they're doing, but I wish it was almost like we went the extra mile here and we made Mass Effect 3 and 2 look even better. Because like I think those games still look passable, especially 2 with how good the art is. But like I just kind of wish that it was like because I think the big thing is it's like with CD Projekt Red, where with Andromeda they burned us really, really, really hard. They burned the public, they burned their fans. One sec. Really, really, really hard. And to get that back, I think you need to show the consumer that you're serious about this, that you're serious about this franchise, that you really care about how, I'm not going to say me because like I love Mass Effect, but I don't love it as much as everybody else, but like about how we, the consumer, like are deeply attached to these stories and show us that you're willing to go the extra mile. And that's why we should trust you with the next game. It's like, it's the same thing with whatever CD Projekt Red releases next, this Witcher bundle or, a new game. It's like, they got to they have to prove to us that it's going to be, more Witcher 3 and less of, oh, we wanted to get this out before December so that we could make money and have a good earnings report. Like that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, I'm not, but these are the things that go into my head because of this is what the company's been. This is the track record for the company, the past games. So
with Anthem and
exactly Andromeda. Anthem and Andromeda. And it's like
they dropped Andromeda before Anthem, right? No, I just want to
Andromeda
clarify.
was 17 and Anthem was 19.
No, it was not. Anthem was not 18. It had to be, or not 19.
Or I think it might be 17. It might be 16 and 18, or 17 and 19. It's one of those.
I'm sorry, I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, I know. I can see.
Wow, you were right. It was 2019. That's crazy. Yeah. I feel like we were talking about that game in
because it was announced
senior year of high school or something. 3
or 4 years. Yeah, it was because it was. And Andromeda was 17. So yeah, 17, 19.
Wow, that is absolutely
yeah, we're not that's the thing. See, to me, we're not far off from these two giant just rushed cash grabs. So I wish what they're doing here is good, and honestly, it's better than what I expected, to be honest, because I've told you in private, I just thought they were gonna here's 1080p Mass Effect, upscaled a little bit, go crazy animals, but they're putting in the work for Mass Effect 1. I wish they were putting in a quarter to 50% of that work into Mass Effect 3 and Mass Effect 2 as well. But all in all, again, I'm in a very happy medium where this isn't the best thing that could have happened, right? But this isn't this is absolutely better than I imagined,
Yeah. So I just really quickly, before I go back to what I wanted to say about this Legendary Edition, Dragon Age Inquisition came out in 2014.
Yeah. Right after launch.
Dude, I'm so I don't know why. I'm kind
Time is a flat circle.
It is blowing my mind right now because I didn't think of the gap between Inquisition and I thought for the reason of why Andromeda was so bad at launch, was because they were coming off of just releasing Inquisition
Yeah.
a year or two before. But that's crazy. And then 2 years later, they dropped Anthem after Andromeda, which is, I don't know what happened, but
Casey Hudson
he's
Casey
just
Hudson
gone
doesn't
now,
know either.
though.
Yeah, like I don't understand what. That's the other thing. I think they'll get back on track, honestly, but that period of 2014 to 2020 where it was like Mass Effect Andromeda, Casey Hudson comes back, they make Anthem, and then everybody leaves, like
Yeah.
it's just going to be this thing of like what happened. Like I think it's going to be something people talk about for a long time, something I'm going to talk about because it's just fascinating how one of the most prestigious story developers was pushed into making these games that very clearly they were not ready to or wanted to make. You know what I mean? And then I don't know, everybody, like I hope EA just backs the hell off and treats them like Respawn, you know? But I don't think they have a Vince Zampella. That's the only thing.
To be fair to Casey Hudson about Anthem, I'll give him credit. Anthem looked like a game that I could have fell in love with, like full on, like, you know.
I think the
before that
world's
game-
really cool.
Yeah, I think the world and the idea of the freelancers is really cool. I just think there's a lot of gameplay. Obviously, we know there's a lot of gameplay
it's
issues.
glitchy.
There's just core mechanics that are
because it's fun too. Like it's fun to fly around. Like
yeah. Who doesn't want to be Iron Man in space or in fantasy world?
And the world is like somewhat interesting. Like flying around those vistas is cool, but it's also like it's so soulless in a way that it really shouldn't be, because conceptually I think it's like really cool. Like it could have been another Mass Effect maybe, but
now that I think about it, they went from trying to install the jetpack into Andromeda and make it like a key thing, and then they're like, you know what? Let's take it a step further.
Whole game. We barely pulled it off.
Iron Man.
We barely pulled it off. Let's make it a whole game, baby. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to look back, and maybe one of these days we can do a retrospective on our favorite studios. And I know BioWare would be
great. Can't wait to talk about more Mass Effect.
But like
and Dragon Age.
It's really interesting to look at the people who made KOTOR, the people who made those Mass Effect games. Like they really were like the leads left and it kind of went to shit. And it's looking like they're finding their new footing, which is really good. But like again, when I said they don't have a Vince Zampella, I think they need a Vince Zampella. And I don't think Casey Hudson's that guy because obviously he's gone. Like they need a guy who's going to go to bat for them at EA and who's going to be like, we need this, this, and this, and you need to trust us because we're the team. We're not the team. We're the name behind KOTOR. We're the name behind Mass Effect. We have cachet in a way that like only Blizzard and like Naughty Dog do. You know what I mean? Like, I see BioWare, I'm gonna play the game, even if I don't think it looks good. Like, I played some Anthem. I went back and I played Andromeda recently. It's like these are things that I know those are bad games, but they're BioWare, so I want to see what happened. You know, it's like if Naughty Dog released a bad game, I'm still gonna play it. You know, I'll still say it's bad, but it's just like, so I think they just need, long-winded. They need somebody to go to bat for them. They need this central figure. So hopefully, see.
Yeah. Just quick closing thoughts on Legendary Edition for me though. I'm really interested to see if they did anything outside of just like the visuals, you know. I wonder because there's the one thing about Pinnacle Station, they're not being able to, they can't bring that thing back because of something. But I wonder if they did anything in words of like dialogue or anything like that, like because there's like to my knowledge there is a few lines of dialogue in like each Mass Effect game that either just like needs to be updated in a way that doesn't sound as bad as it does, or just straight up taken out. I'm mainly thinking of one, but I'm wondering if they added stuff in too, because I'm wondering like almost
from
like
what I understand,
no,
because I don't think either of the voice actors were contacted to do additional ADR. To do ADR, because additional ADR is never mind. Sorry. It's repetitive. But yeah, I think the dialogue and stuff is staying the same. I think it's purely like a
visual thing.
Technical side of like gameplay, visual stuff that they can fix without getting actors and talent involved, and that's talent involved in that way.
Right, that's fair. So. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, May 14th, we're 2.5 months away from that.
Sorry, on May 14th, we're gonna not talk about it too. That's gonna be our April Fool's joke, where we're gonna talk about Mass Effect every other day except the week that the remaster comes out. We're not gonna even like think about it. Like that's
because we're just gonna be playing it.
No, we're not even gonna talk about like what we're playing. We're just gonna be like, so been checking out Kotori, like we're not even gonna mention Bioware.
A couple days away from Deathloop.
Yeah, like exactly. Like it'll be that level of thing. I wanted to bring this up because we were talking about Bioware.
Go for it.
Asper, did you see this? Asper Media is apparently working on a remake of KOTOR. So Schreier said this, so he's obviously like the one guy who, no matter what he says, I'm gonna believe him, because his credibility is that good. But yeah, so KOTOR remake is happening, and it's not BioWare / EA, it's Asper Media, and they did Jedi Knight and Jedi Knight 2, like for the Switch and stuff like that when they re-released them. So
okay, what else did Schreier confirm this week? Wasn't it something about Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, that's what I think he confirmed.
Oh, you're talking about
KOTOR.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I think he's talking about Knights of the Old Republic, but I'm like, is that what that like what they say the abbreviation as? Okay.
Yeah, KOTOR, yeah. So Schreier Watch, he's confirmed, or at least hinted at very strongly, that Asper Media is working on a remake of the game. So
what is Asper known for?
They did the re-releases of Academy and Academy 2.
So we're just seeing that this is going to be like a port almost.
I think it'll be close to what Bluepoint does.
Okay.
Like a full remake.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if they're gonna change some things, because from what I understand, from what I heard, is that the remake would have to be able to fit into canon, and thus things would be changed. Whether that means multiple endings or not or whatever, I think it still would, but they would definitely probably change some things to make it fit into canon in a way that it could. So like, yeah,
Star Wars and having everything be canon's not the greatest, but
smart though, because you get to a point where it's like you want everybody who loves one thing of Star Wars to feel validated by it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Fair. Like if I'm the biggest KOTOR fan, and I like, people are talking about the original trilogy and they're like, that guy, his shit doesn't matter. Like they want me loving KOTOR to mean as much as somebody loving the Luke versus Darth Vader fight, which I completely understand. And it's also like, if you're doing it, you might as well, like, I personally, I'm fine with it. I think it does lead to like a couple of annoying things where it's like, oh, everything has to go through this one story group and all these things, but
yeah,
it is what it is. We accept it. We take it take it on the chin. As long as it means more Star Wars games, I'm there,
Truth. That's fair. Well, unless you got anything else that you want to bring up, I think we're going to call it there.
I'm thinking, did we talk about IO doing James Bond?
We did not.
IO's making James Bond. They're the best. More Hitman content. No.
Did we talk about it last week?
I think we might have brought it up.
I think we might have brought it up.
Very broadly. We touched on it.
Xbox version of, or no. We said we brought it up, and then I think we also talked about, or maybe this was in another episode when we talked about the Indiana Jones game too. And I want to say those two were like brought together in some way. I don't know. I could be completely wrong though.
Oh, we were talking about maybe like what Xbox will get from
Bethesda.
Yeah, like what's gonna happen in terms of, will they have a Star Wars game that's exclusive? Blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm
Right.
just very excited. That's probably my most anticipated game right now. Period. Is that IOI James Bond game? I think it'll be sick. I know it's not gonna come out for another 4-5 years, but
Yeah, that's fair.
guy can dream. I'm just checking my news really quick just to see. Oh, have you played any of Destruction All Stars?
I've not. I've seen a lot of stuff for it today,
Okay.
though.
Yeah.
So you telling me to get on it?
No.
This is your way of telling me to get on it?
No, it's kind of lame. I was just curious
Oh.
if you'd played any and thought about it, because I obviously downloaded that in Control. And by the way, if you have PS Plus, Control on the Ultimate Edition on PS5 is exquisite.
Free.
It's free right now, and it's exquisite. It's the 60 frames per second. Honestly, like there's a 30 ray tracing mode, but like I'm very much over ray tracing. In terms of ray tracing for 60, I'm always going to choose 60 from now on. Like the ray tracing looks good, but it doesn't look as good as playing a game in 60 feels. So, yeah, download Control. It's obviously really great. I'm very excited I'm playing through it again, but I'm also very excited to play the DLC when I beat it, because I never bought the DLC. And yeah, Destruction All Stars is very mediocre, and I can't believe somebody at Sony at one point had the idea to be like, we're going to release this game for $70. I'm very glad that somebody else at Sony was like, we're going to make it free because we don't want to lose all the money that we could, or, like
Right.
nobody will play this. Like, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I'm good, man.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Grand.
Sounds good. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. If you guys, want to tell us what you thought about the Mass Effect Legendary Edition trailer that you guys saw, or maybe talk to us about the day before. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like something that PC players might be more into than we are, but we'll have to maybe give it a try. Oh, you know what I did want to talk to you about? And this is kind of more of like an off-screen thing, but the Division 2, I've just been seeing so much stuff because it's all in 60 frames now.
Yeah, they gave that patch. Yeah. So I'm actually kind of excited to jump back into that.
I feel like I should get into it, but I feel like I'm too late. So
yeah, that's the thing with all these what's it called? Like all these games as service games. It's like,
yeah, you got to stick with it, or at least
if you're not in, if you're not in on the ground floor, you're like, well, what the hell am I gonna do now? Because so much of that game is playing with other people and like it being fun that way, and then like not being able to do that because they're all like level 1 million,
Right.
That's why
it's got the Destiny effect to it.
That's why games like Fortnite and Call of Duty will always, I think, be bigger than those games, bigger than Destiny, because it's like you can hop in and you can ditch for several years but come back, because it's at its core, it's going to be the same thing. Things are going to change, but like that change is always interesting and you never feel left behind. But yeah, okay, well.
Yeah, sorry about that, but thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.